Every civilization leaves behind echoes. Some are carved in stone, others survive only in memory. Welcome to Forgotten Worlds. I am Larry Johnson. Enter the archive and discover the worlds waiting to be remembered. Part 1. Troy. Did you ever wonder about the city of Troy? There was a time when many thought the civilization of Troy was a myth. Homer's Iliad was its chief advocate, a story that traveled by word of mouth long before it was committed to parchment. Then, archaeologists dug it up. Sometimes legends preserve history. Myths are not simply false facts, they are fragments of real memory. The walls of Troy. For centuries, these stones lay beneath the earth, while poets remembered what historians doubted. Sometimes memories survive, even when cities do not. Schliemann's discovery. When Heinrich Schliemann began digging here in the 19th century, many believed he was searching for a legend. Archaeology sometimes begins with skepticism and ends by changing history. The ancient gate. Imagine passing through this gate more than 3,000 years ago. Merchants, soldiers, children, none of them knew they would become part of one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Part 2. Minoan Civilization. The Palace of Knossos was one of the largest and most sophisticated centers of the Bronze Age. But today, these ruins remind us that civilizations can flourish brilliantly and still disappear, leaving only legends like those of the labyrinth itself. The Minoan frescoes. The Minoans celebrated beauty as much as power. They left behind their mystery filled with dolphins, flowers, dancers, ceremonies. Sometimes art remembers what history forgets. The archive is certain about this flourishing Bronze Age civilization. But why did all that disappear? The archive tells us ultimately the mystery is multiple in its certainty and vagueness. Earthquakes, a volcanic eruption, economic disruption, and maybe the influence of another culture, perhaps the Mycenaeans. Sometimes it's the chain of events, the slow, gradual march of time. Don't need catastrophe to disappear a civilization. An archive reflection. The archive reminds us that civilizations rarely vanish because of a single event. More often, they disappear one generation at a time, until only fragments remain for future archivists to rediscover. Part 3. Atlantis Civilization. I can honestly say that unlike Troy, and unlike the Minoans, What we know about the Atlantis civilization is much disputed. Plato described it for us. But was it history? Was it allegory or political philosophy? Was disappearance forced by a real catastrophe? Now cross with me this invisible bridge from what archaeologists can dig up in the depths of our earth. And let us find in the archive the mystery where we stand. This is where Forgotten Worlds lives. The ancient map of Atlantis. For centuries, map makers attempted to place Atlantis somewhere on Earth, even though no one could prove it ever existed. Sometimes a civilization first survives not in stone, but in the imagination of those who continue searching for it. Atlantis before the flood. Plato described Atlantis as a powerful island civilization whose greatness ultimately became its downfall. Whether history, allegory, or philosophy, the story continues to inspire people because it speaks to humanity's fascination with lost worlds. Plato's dialogue. Everything we know about Atlantis comes from two works written by Plato, Timaeus, Critias. Unlike Troy, archaeologists have never uncovered a city everyone agrees is Atlantis. The story survives primarily through these ancient texts. The sunken city. Artists have imagined Atlantis resting beneath the sea for centuries, transforming a philosophical story into one of history's greatest enduring mysteries. Whether Atlantis existed exactly as described or not, its greatest legacy may be the question it leaves behind. How many forgotten worlds still wait beyond our knowledge? Archive reflection. Unlike Troy, Atlantis has never emerged from beneath the earth. Unlike the Minoans, its streets have never been walked by archaeologists. Yet, for more than 2,000 years, humanity has continued searching. Sometimes the greatest power of a forgotten world is not that it can be found, but that it continues to invite us to look. Part 4. The Archive. Some forgotten worlds are remembered through stone, some through ash, some only through stories. But what if there were records of another civilization? One history never preserved. Come back to episode 2, The Etheric Isle. Why do civilizations disappear? Some civilizations vanish beneath sand, some beneath forests, some beneath oceans. And some were never recorded at all. Civilizations rarely disappear in a single day. Let the wonder of forgotten worlds be awakened, remembered, and imagined, and discover the worlds waiting to be remembered.